welcome to another episode of Big Ego Media. Got another special guest today, goes by the name of Born Trappy. Excuse my voice right now, I'm picking up a cold right now, so hopefully it all clears. But how are you today, bro?
Good, Bobby, man.
How was your journey?
Can't complain. Driven well, a little bit of traffic, but it's London, man.
So you're someone that, I guess 10 months ago, I didn't know anything about really until my good friend Guled said, who's out there that I should be looking out for in West London? He told me Born Trappy. I was like, yeah, okay. I started listening and obviously the tune dropped with Roomty. But before we get all over there, let's start with your journey. Like, where are you from? Where did you grow up?
Cool. So originally, I'm from West London, Acton. That's where I'd say I grew up. I was born in Ealing, Ealing Hospital. I was in South Ealing for 1 year. And then I moved to Acton. I was in the High Street first.
Okay.
I was there till, I think it was year 5. And then from there I moved into another side of Acton, like South Acton.
Yeah.
So, yeah, my whole area in general, I'm just like West London.
And what's your family background?
Somalian.
Somalian, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, growing up, right, I remember when I was in school, before it was cool to be African, I mean, Africans weren't cool, and then even further than that, Somalis used to get it the most.
Yeah.
Like, did you witness that growing up at the time? Like, Somalis will be the ones that they wasn't seen as the cool people back in the day.
Yeah, 100%. Like, I feel like the time that I was actually growing up in, it was like cool. Like, you'd say to a girl, she'd be like, "Where you from?" "I'm Somalian." They'd be like, "You're Somalian," and it's just like, that was those days, innit? But I just feel like it was more down to what man was wearing, and man didn't really have no older brothers, no older cousins, nobody that man could look up to say, yo, like, he looks cool. And obviously when you're young, it's more like that R&B, hip hop look, because we're looking at what's on the television, you know what I'm trying to say? So yeah, definitely I feel like I went through that. But I was more in the generation that kind of broke those doors open, you know what I'm saying? It's a knock to your confidence and shit like that, but like I said, like, you got the Pakistanis, you got the Albanians, everyone goes through it just at different time periods, you get what I'm saying?
Everyone seems to be embracing you guys there as well, which should have been happening from the very get-go.
Yeah.
I mean, what did you want to do growing up?
I can't lie to you. When I was younger, it was more sports.
Football?
Football, I used to bang out football, I can't lie.
I'm going to say Somalis are skillful, but you guys don't want to pass the ball.
We're agile, but yeah, it gets like that.
Like, yo, pass the ball. Nah.
No, it is. We used to share in a big plate, you know what I'm saying? So you got to try to eat fast, eat as much as you can, you know what I mean? So it might be just one of them things, man.
What team do you support, by the way?
I support Liverpool, you know.
Liverpool, okay.
Yeah, man, I'm a Scouser.
So, I mean, growing up in your household, how was your parent? Were they strict? Was it more sort of laid back?
My parents was good people, you know. I can't lie. When I was younger, my dad wasn't living with man for a little bit. He was working out of London anyway. But my mum's always been like, played both roles when he went around anyway. Like my older sister as well, she was always G'd up, always used to help man out. She was probably like my auntie, but that was like my sister. Yeah. So I feel like, yeah, man, growing up good, man. Pious parents, you get me, both pray, alhamdulillah. Both good people. I come from a good background, I can't lie.
And how was you at school?
School, I was good. Academically, I was good.
Yeah. So when was it that when kind of the transition changes for you then? Like when you're growing up in a good household, your parents are pious, they're teaching the right things. When did it start turning left for you a little bit then? To
be honest, yeah, it's like this. Cool, your parents can be good people, pious people. That's gonna teach you to know right from wrong. Do you get me? But like, when I say sway off, if we want to be honest, it comes down to your habits. Do you get what I'm trying to say? You go outside, cool. Like growing up, as you can probably say, like back in the day, man's parents probably didn't have the most money. Not everybody could be a Nike when I was younger. Not everybody could have designers or anything like that. Like in this day and age, you see little kids with Nike on their feet. I went 4 or 5 years old with Nike on my feet because I probably didn't know what it was. But getting up to like 10, 11, 12, like they was providing for man straight away, Nikes, kickers, going to school. I wasn't in Wallabies, I was in kickers. So I have to shout out my parents for that. But then it gets to that stage where you're like, cool, 15, 16, we was getting into like Ed Hardy's and stuff like that. Like your parents ain't gonna go and spend £200 on a t-shirt. I wouldn't buy my son a t-shirt for £200. But at those stages, you got kids' parents, mums that actually work, got good jobs. So then probably going into college, I'd say.
So college was the
College, yeah, like probably when I started smoking weed, I'd say. You can't really chat to your parents about nothing like that. You're not asking nobody for no money. So it's like now you got to provide for yourself. You got to provide for your own habits.
I mean, how did you start smoking weed? Was it such a thing where the man like, yo, try this, or was you always intrigued?
Nah, I'll be honest with you. The way I started smoking weed, it's a funny story because I got two of my brothers that I grew up with, and they'll know in it. We was younger, we was in the estate, whatever. They was probably smoking weed at the time. I was always on the sports anyway. And then, funnily enough, I caught a little injury, ankle injury, and then I got nicked, and I got put on tag.
Okay.
So going into college, I was on tag. Do you get? Cool, going into college, I'm on tag, but you know what happens when you're on tag and now you're not going football because you're getting home.
Yeah.
It's just like, I'm on tag for 3 months, so now I'm around the man in the evenings before I'm going home.
Okay.
Sat in my house with all this energy, don't know what to do with it. Funnily enough, the same two guys that I'm talking about, we ended up hitting a lick at a very young age. I think like just turning 16.
Yeah.
Which is big bag of weed on the table them days, you know what I mean? And it was out of boredom, to be honest, like doing whatever we was doing, like, you get me? She ended up just bunning a zoot one day, vomited. I remember over the balcony, I waited. You know what I'm saying? I was like, nah, I can't do this. And then it was like just slowly getting into it, and then I was just...
Was it easy to hide it from your parents?
They knew in it.
Oh, they knew.
But they're never gonna tell you they know in it.
Okay.
They'll find Rizzlers in my pocket. You know when you're high, like just leaving lighters in your trousers like some idiot, slapping it in the washing basket. So they knew in it. They just chose to tell me at a set time. Probably when the letters came from college saying he's not going to college no more.
Okay.
That's when I think it got.
What was you trying to study at college at the time?
I was studying electrical engineering.
Okay. So you're quite intelligent, right?
Yeah, I was doing alright, man.
So did you finish it or?
Nah, man. I was just thinking about money, to be honest,
Yeah.
man. Them days it was EMA as well, so it's like £30 a week, bro.
Yeah.
Man, was making that quick time, so.
So when did it start in terms of making money in the roads? You done that lick? Was it the name is Born Trappy? So is that the lifestyle that you was living at the time? When the name come about? When the name come about?
The name's more based on what happens around me, innit?
Okay.
So obviously I'm in the jungle. It's more my environment. I wouldn't say it's me directly. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't really into it too much. I was just smoking my weed and I was probably just a good middleman.
So how did the music start?
Originally, I went studio. It was at a youth centre in my estate. It was called Bolo at the time. Where people used to come down, like even the Snapses, the Gigses, all these people from South used to come down, they used to record. There was a guy called Ren.
Okay.
Them days he was a good engineer, he used to run the studio. Jamal as well, SBTV, he was coming up around them times as well. So they always used to go to Bolo. Cool, and one day, I don't know, when I was smoking weed, I think I was 16, bun the spliff, we were just chilling, and the man were like, yo man, like who's gonna rap? It was a bit of banter, you know what I'm saying? So everyone's writ a page, and then funnily enough, like I went first.
Yeah.
So when I went first, the man, I'm like, nah, like you need to do this thing. Like you need to do this. You might as well be a rapper, like.
Had you been practicing before that, or was it something that you looked at other rappers?
You know what? I always liked rapping it.
Yeah.
Going even in school, like the battle clash days, like I used to be like, fuck this. When people are battle rapping, I used to think, fuck this. Go get a 16 off of the internet, and I'll come back and I'll spin you with someone else's 16. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, the times have changed now. It's like people are more copying what man's doing. So yeah.
So you started off doing like proper rap at the time?
Battle rap a little bit here and there, 8 year 9, stopped it, 16, writ some bars, went in the studio, on and off again probably for like 2 years.
Yeah.
Then my brother, I had an older brother, like he passed away in 2016.
Okay.
So he always used to be like, yo man, let me do the Birdman, but you be Lil Wayne, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, just do the flexing side and you just do the rapping side, and I always had it in the back of my head, but I was active in the street, so I was like, nah, it went for me, so I was kind of on and off.
Yeah.
Then I feel like that's getting into like my early, like 18, 19, getting up to 20, I think I started doing it for therapy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was going through a lot of hood politics, had a lot of beef and shit like that, so to get things off my chest, I had more time just in the band or just grinding, just doing what I need to do. And the only time I would been going out was probably like going to studio.
Yeah. I mean, not to dwell on any sort of beefs or anything like that, but at that moment, like when you got issues in the street, how do you kind of like, do you live your life kind of scared, like I have to look over my shoulder all the time, or is it like, no, fuck it, whatever it be will be? How do you feel at the time?
At the time it was different. I didn't really have no experience. I probably just came into the game. So it's just like for me, cool, for example, I got stabbed. It wasn't so much man's scared. It's just more that man wants everyone else to feel what man's feeling. Yeah. You know, you got so much pride and you're angry. Once that bubble gets burst, it's like you now have to pay attention to everything. Because do you want to see something coming, or do you want something to hit you without you even realizing? So it's just more of a paranoid mind state, man. And not really wanting to like take man's life for granted. I've seen people die over 1 stab wound. I've seen people survive over 10.
How many did you get?
I got 2.
You got 2. And at the time, did you think, oh, I'm gone? Or was you you thought it was a minor?
I'll be honest with you, I didn't realise it because I didn't even feel it. When man was just active in the madness, I didn't really care, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, I went home myself, I got my own ambulance.
Okay.
Literally took off my shirt, tied up my arm, held my back, walked to my house, and just made sure that I got in the ambulance. So at the time, I didn't even think, like, people weren't dropping like that as well. So I didn't even think I even thought about death like that, you know what I'm saying?
But after that's happened, is it a thing where, you know what, fuck this lifestyle, or are we in too deep at this time?
Well, boy, I feel like it was in too deep at that stage, you know what I'm saying? Because it's just like, man's parents knew I'm not studying no more. I was probably kicked out of my yard already, you know what I'm saying?
I'm going to talk about that in terms of tough love, because I got kicked out many a times. Like, was it a thing that when the parents said, you know, we've had enough of this, just go? Do you understand their tough love?
100%. Coming from where they're coming from, it's like, imagine having a child and not being able to, you're holding your hand's child, your child gets to 12, it don't want to hold hands no more. You know what I'm saying? Gets to 16, doesn't want to go out with you no more, doesn't want to go eat with you. Understanding it from their perspective, 100%. But it's like, they was all African parents, you know what I'm saying? Education, education, education. When I seen people go and play football, I wanted to play football. I see my friends going to play football, getting good contracts at good ages, you know what I'm trying to say, making decent money. It's like, I feel like they knew what they was told. Do you get what I'm trying to say to you? Follow the rules, follow this, do that, which is understandable, innit? You're coming into country to follow rules, to try and get a passport, so you're gonna try and do everything by the book, innit? But nowadays, it's not even about how much you're educated, it's more about what you know, like who do you know, you know what I'm trying to say as well, you know what I mean?
Definitely.
So, yeah, man, I feel like what they done was right because it made a man of man, you know what I'm saying? I was probably too childish at the time, not really understanding that they wanted better for man. They always told me you are what your friends are. I'll be lying, no, I don't smoke weed. But your friend smokes weed, so do you smoke weed? No, I don't, mum, I promise you. You know what I mean? So,
but these days she kind of knows already.
Yeah, they knew better, innit? I just didn't at the time. But
I mean, so back to the music then, like, obviously you listen to your sound, it's more on the wave segment of, I guess, hip hop and stuff. Is that something you done consciously? Is that something that you said, okay, I'm going to try to do it this way because everyone knows it's rapping, everyone knows it's doing it. I'm going to be sort of singing. Did you always have that singing voice?
To be honest, I used to rap, like rap. So, in terms of listening to music, I was more Styles P, Jadakiss coming up. UK, I probably stopped at like Dizzy Rascal. You know what I mean? Coming into like the Twisters. Marvin Gaye. A Luther Vandross, a little Vinny, never said it's part of your right. That kind of vibe. So I'm obviously I've come from R&B in it, growing up in it, the Ja Rules, these kind of things. But going into rap, I felt like I was coming into like the Meek lane and stuff like that. Like I used to listen to a lot of Meek, probably Benny Banks even when he was coming up. That kind of hard rap, you know what I'm trying to say, with punchlines. And then I tried doing wave in my ad-libs, in the noises in the background, so I was in the studio just going, wah, wah, making noises. And the man was laughing, you know what I'm saying? Real talk, the man was laughing, you know what I mean? I was like, what you doing? I'm just like, well, I'm just trying it, you know what I'm saying? And then I come out the booth, and we've played it with the auto. That man them said, yo, this sounds sick. I'm like, yeah, cool. Jumped in that lane now. So if you look at wave, it's more to do with girls, fun, drug pain related, that kind of section, you know what I'm trying to say? And
it's not really on a violent
thing, like it wasn't too really violent, so subconsciously it kind of gelled with me, and then I thought, cool, how do I do me in that lane? Do you get me? Which is more like, I feel like that motivational stuff, that pain related stuff, do you know what I'm trying to say? And the transition. So I wanted to kind of bring the real rap into the wave. I don't want to be talking about eating all this, doing all that, no, just real rap, but in a melodic voice. That's the lane that I want to stay in, and then it's like, who's really in that lane that stays there?
I hear that.
Not a lot of people, you get me?
I mean, how difficult is it for you then in regards to because I've seen a couple of rappers have come out afterwards because of their faith and say, you know what, I'm quitting music, I'm not going to make music anymore because of my faith teaches me this. How do you battle with that?
So it's like this. My background, obviously, growing up, even trying to do music, it would have been harder for me. I didn't have no cousins with no studio, no plugs to do none of these things. Most of my peoples are like, oh yeah, you're Muslim, what's the point, like rare. So obviously there's right from wrong, and subconsciously we all know what's right and we all know what's wrong. Do you get what I'm saying? But it's like there's stories in the religion that talks about people that, for example, do an X amount of things, and one good deed could put that person in heaven. So it's just like, cool. That one bad might not outweigh the 10 things that I'm doing in the background. Just because you see one thing that I do in front of you that's bad, what man's doing in the background and what man's doing subconsciously as a person, that might be able to take me to the next level. Do you get what I'm trying to say to you, and get me to where I want to be in the afterlife? Do you get what I mean? But like, each to their own, innit? For me.
Do you remember your first video that you done, the first track?
As in, I've probably recorded like 3-4 videos that I never released.
Yeah, why was that?
Because, like I said, I was probably outside properly. I was probably proper in the game, just on the road, doing shit at the time. Shout out Critical as well, because he was recording me at the time.
Okay.
Like, doing my videos. He's probably the first person that actually said to me, yo, bro, like, do this thing, you know what I'm saying? When it got to the stage that I did want to do it, he was already managing somebody, so we just kept each other's best interest, dropped gems with each other. But yeah, that's about it. The first videos I never ended up dropping at all.
So like I said, until recently, I hadn't known who you was until Guled said, yeah man, trust me, my man's got lyrics, he's got bars, all this. I'm like, alright, cool, I'll check it out. And then obviously, the tune with Rimsy came back that set the streets on fire. I mean, I'm biased, obviously, because my name is, it was thrown in there. But it's like, how did that song even come about? What was the, I guess, inspiration that comes with that hook?
So, obviously me and Rims, shout out Rims as well, that's my brother. We've done a few songs with each other as well.
How did you guys connect?
Connected originally, you know what, through Ali with the Bally, you know.
Okay, yeah.
I think you know Ali with the Bally as well,
guy,
shout out Ali as well. So I think one time Ali's invited him, come to an Ambush video shoot, I've come there as well. Boom, we spoke that day. From there, we just patterned up. He built a studio as well in Chiswick.
Okay.
So I'm from Acton, it's only around the corner, 5 minutes. Started gelling with him from there, linking up. Just dropping gems, chopping up, you know what I'm saying? He's independent, man's independent, so. Yeah, man just been recording, just keeping it organic, you know what I'm saying? Not even rushing the process. Probably in about a year, just here and there, we probably recorded about 3-4 songs.
Yeah.
And I think when that one hit, I feel like he already gave me a verse on it. Do you get me? He already gave me a verse, so I was just like, cool. What can I do that's gonna relate to both of us and stay in that lane that can relate to everybody else? Because that's what the game's about. That's what man does music for. How many people can man relate to? How many people are in the same shoes as man? Do you get what I'm saying? So when I dropped the hook, yeah, man, it was just go. Like, was playing the track to the man. Them he needed to release something. I needed a release to come up soon as well. Yeah. And then we just went with that. Yeah.
So of all the tracks you made, would you say that was the best one you think you guys made?
So far, definitely. Yeah.
And I mean, once it was kind of released and you saw, did you straight away know this is going to be a surefire hit, or was you both kind of apprehensive?
I kind of knew it.
Yeah.
Like, I think Rims just double checked with the man and that with his team and that, but I knew it still.
Yeah.
Because it's like, bro, you're bringing the wave to the rap. And it's not, man's just doing any wave, man's keeping it very authentic. I'm not doing no fantasy rap. I'm not sitting here trying to, there's man dreaming and manifesting, that's one thing. Then the man's talking on what man's really living, and it's all completely different. Do you get what I'm saying? So I feel like that's my lane there.
So I mean, once the track's gone hard and you see all the reaction videos and everyone's talking about, how did that make you feel?
Good. I can't lie to you.
Yeah.
I can't lie. But it's one of them things, flowers, innit? Give me my flowers while I'm here, man.
So, did you see it as, you know what, this is what's has kind of been missing? I've been doing these tracks for the last couple of years.
100%.
It's not really got to that scale. Now I've dropped this one. Did you feel like, yeah, I've arrived now?
100%, but at the same time, I'd never looked at music as a business.
Yeah.
More importantly, it's a business. You need to make sure you got your brand correct. You need to make sure you know your target audience. You need to make sure you know what sticks with your image. Do you get what I'm saying? A lot of people go wrong by trying to do girly songs or trying to do this, trying to do that. Like, stay in your lane, stay in your brand. Obviously, if my thing's Born Trappy, then when it comes to the trap, when it comes to the streets, it's got to be me. I've got to make sure I cover that angle. Do you get what I'm saying? Me going into other genres should be on like features. So I more just think it's just that, really.
And I mean, and through the back of it, we've seen kind of the success of people who do have the hooks. Like, even if we go to stateside, we go to people like Acton or Nate Dogg, who they were the hook guys that everyone used to. And in the UK, I guess you got sort of a Kale from Western. Is that something that you feel like there's a lane there for you to be the hook guy for some of these guys' tracks?
I'm playing my position, man.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm on right now. I'm just on work. Like, for me, I've come from a life where man's had to look over my shoulder. So when I'm going into music, I'm like, cool. They can want a hook, they can want a verse while I'm coming up.
Yeah.
But when I've got to that stage, it's just like, what is there, whatever you want. If you want to come to me for a hook, come to me for a hook. If you want to come to me for a verse, come to me for a verse. Because I think, I slap the verses too, but I think a lot of people sleep on that side of things, do you get what I'm saying? But like I said, in due time, I'll be on verses as well, not just hooks of people's, and then let the audience do what they do.
I mean, who would be your most ideal person that you would want to work with? Out there, like, they're watching this right now, like, yo, you know, I've always fucked with my man's sound.
UK or?
UK.
I just look at what gels with man's sound or what gels with man's branding, so I was probably looking at more, like I fuck with the M Hunchos, the Nath Smallses.
That's the same sort of...
Yeah, the Young Adses, them kind of waves most probably.
And then people be hitting you up since that song as well?
Yeah, 100%. I've had a lot of people hitting me up still.
So after that, you came and then you released your own sort of track on Graham Daily. I think it done what, 100k in 2 days, or was it in a day, whatever? I mean,
yeah, just on the second day, basically.
On the second day, and for you, how was that feeling? Like, say, okay, people might say, okay, I've done this tune, but Rimsey was on there, but now I'm standing alone, and I'm doing the numbers.
I can't lie to you, it's a good feeling, innit? But I know I should have been there a while ago. I was dropping once every 4 months or once every 3 months, just dealing with politics and stuff. Not really taking music too seriously. I feel like right now, it's got to the stage where that's man's main goal. That's number one. When I wake up, I think music, do you get me? When I look at my week, I plan through music. If I've got a shoot, if I've got an interview, what do I need to do, do you get what I'm saying? Brand awareness. Now I'm standing behind it on the forefront and just trying to be not only the guy that's actually the brand himself, but the guy that's behind the brand. Once I'm both them guys, I'd probably let someone else come and take that brand to the next level, do you know what I'm saying?
And also, I guess, like, within your ends in Acton, are people like saying, yeah, this is our guy, let's push him up there? Like,
100%, but you get the love and
you get the love and the hate as well. So
it's like, cool, they could push you to that stage where you've got somewhere, but they'll be like, oh, we've pushed him to get him to that. But I'll be real with you, like, even coming from where I'm coming from, and like, I'm not in the same headspace. I was a lot younger mentally back then, do you get what I'm saying? And I feel like now, there'll be people that I probably even have problems with growing up that I'll probably forgive them. I won't forget, but I'll just forgive them and get on.
I mean, and I was gonna say, how do you sort of try to, is it a thing that where you kind of let people know, like, look guys, this is what I'm on this lane, I'm not on this other lane, and it's for them to sort of deal with that?
Nah.
Or you still kind of having to look over your shoulders now?
Nah, I just level up, man. It's time to level up, get around, do what I need to do. My family's out the hood, you get me, so I don't even need to be in the hood. When I cut through the hood, I'm at the shop, grabbing something, I'm in, I'm out, you know what I mean?
And that's the way we see what's happened, who is it, to Young Dolph the other day. Yeah. It's happened to a lot of people within their own hood.
Exactly.
As they say, I'm not sure they say in the Quran, but in Bible, it says a prophet is not welcome in his own town, or along those words, is that basically in your own hood is where people will give you the most hate, strangers will love you more.
Yeah, exactly. I got lyrics like that as well, Mad About Bars. I say I get love from strangers and hate from my neighbours. I don't owe none of them no favours. But it's just like, it's one of them things, man. They can't stomach it. Some of them don't understand it. Do you get me? For me, it's not my place to be explaining to people, oh yeah, I'm this and I'm that, or I just mind my business. God's written it, you know what I'm saying? Take it how it comes. I'm not really one of those guys that chats to bare people anyway. I keep myself to myself, you know what I'm saying?
So in regards to like what you got coming next, is it like an EP, an album, and another single coming out that we should be looking out for?
I got a track coming out December the 1st. I don't know if this interview is going to be out before or after, but I got a track coming out December the 1st. Then I've got something coming out with another 2 man, so 3 people on 1 track. Okay. That should be coming out. So there should be at least another, 3 releases probably by the end of the year.
And we're seeing a lot of influx of Somali artists.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of influx of Somali artists, like, and very talented artists as well. Did you always envisage that this will happen within the Somali community?
Yeah, man. I knew it, man. Yeah. I'll be honest with you, like as a Somalian, it's hard. It was harder to cut through back in the day when you're getting categorized. Are you black? Are you not black? Are you this? Are you that? Like there was a lot of identity crisis. So I feel like them standing on the forefront and letting people know how they are and who they are. I feel like it's that time, innit? Yeah. And I mean, you can look at the streets, man. Like they came for the trap game, that got headlocked. If it's the rap game next, then that's probably what it is.
And in terms of the Somali rappers that are out there, like who do you sort of fuck with?
Honestly, I fuck with all of them. Yeah. But where we've been boxed in so much to be looked at, like you'll get compared as a Somalian, like, oh, you're the hardest Somali, but
And it shouldn't be that way. It should be like, I'm the hardest artist.
You don't go to you don't say, oh, he's the hardest Jamaican or he's the hardest Nigerian. It's past that. You got to think out of the box.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? And musically, I make music for the world. Like, I've got brethren that are white, Irish, Pakistani, Jamaican, Nigerian, different man's teams like mixed. Do you get what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, I make music for all my peoples.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? It's not just for the Malis. You can see that I'm Mali, and where I come from, I'm Somalian. You can see that. I don't need to forefrontly be pushing that, but yeah, as a team of Malis, I just feel like, cool, until we're all in one place, mentally, or we're in the same place, then there's no point of really chatting at the moment, innit?
Yeah.
Do you get me?
So you said the song released on the 1st of December, so hopefully we can have this video out before then. And then with an EP, is it going to be like a 6-track, 8-track, 10
Take
track?
probably 14 tracks.
14 tracks.
Next year, probably March, inshallah.
Okay. And in terms of sort of record labels, are sort of A&R's trying to hit you up and say, yo, we're just sort of touching base and see what I've got here?
I mean, I've been having conversations here and there,
Yeah.
and I'm open to have conversations, but right now, I'm just on this independent wave, man. Like, I can see what I'm doing. I've got a plan and an idea. And even at, you know, when you've always got a plan, you look at the most profit and the smallest. Like, even at its smallest, I'm happy. Do you get what I mean?
And in regards to sort of the youngers who are coming up in Acton now, is there sort of people, cause like back in the day, I remember when someone sort of came out, they'll have a group of youngers around them who they'll say, okay, he's up next. Is there sort of people in and around your area that say, you know what, watch out for my man, he's coming soon after we're doing it? Cause like I said, you don't really hear, you have your Peckhams, you have your Brixtons, so Acton with you leading the way, there's sort of a whole load of other young people coming from that area that you should be looking out for.
In a way, to be honest, I'll be completely honest, I'll be lying to you if I said I pay attention. At this precise moment, I don't really know. But yeah, man, only other person that's from Acton that's doing music that is Nino Uptown.
Yeah.
That's man's people as well, so yeah.
And then also just with invisible paid.
Yeah, expensive pain.
Yeah, expensive paid. Why was there no remix?
You have to ask the boy Rims for that, man.
Hey Rimsey, why was there no remix, man? I remember the Eminem said, look, we need a remix. He's like, yeah, it's coming. They gave me names of people who might be on it, but do you think it's gone too far now for it to be a remix now?
I mean, I don't know if it's gone too far because it's still doing numbers. It's still going up slowly every time man's looking at it.
I think it's nearly 3 million now.
Yeah, it's on its way to 3 mil. So I don't think it's too late. But like I said, man, when he's ready to make that shout, he'll do it.
Yeah. Is there anything else you want to let your fans know about yourself or what's coming next?
Tape coming next year. I got some features, some Canadians, couple.
I was gonna say there's a big Somali community in Canada.
Yeah.
Oh, so yeah.
So got a few linked up over there. Trying to go pattern the Scandinavians, like the Swedish, the Norwegian, that kind of whole area there. So. And
that's another thing. Obviously, the borders are kind of open. Also, COVID is still an issue, but there is a market in Europe who 100%. Fuck with the UK.
100%.
So people need to be touring those sort of countries and not forgetting about them as well. So yeah, man.
More, I feel like if I wanted to speak to people, I'd just tell them one thing. If you're trying to do music and you're young and you're coming up, learn, go get your own mistakes. Do you get me? Go make your own mistakes. Not even get, man. I said get. Go make your own mistakes. You know what I'm trying to say? Learn and then come into it. You know what I'm saying?
And we was kind of speaking off camera as well. And one of the things you said, like, well, you've actually never been to prison, and that's actually refreshing to hear. Because a lot of times we do get people here who went to prison and decided, but you really have to go through that for you to understand where you should be going. But I'm pretty sure you have friends who have been there.
Yeah, no, most of my brothers went to jail, but I feel like that was the phase of when people started learning about alcohol and the man was drinking or going out. Like I said, like, I always listen to my mum, bro, I'll be real with you. Like, there'll be nights where we're out 2-3 nights in a row doing all-nighters. And on the third night, I'll be like, yo, cuz, I'm gang, but my mum's been banging me off. I'm just gonna go say, well, go on to her, give her, you know, I'm trying to say peace of mind. And then, yeah, the man that would be going to jail, I feel like I was skating on ice, man. I mean, I missed it a few times when I was younger. Got to an age where I just started going with my own gut, really.
Your gut's very important.
Yeah, just going with my own gut, and that's been really the end of it. Alhamdulillah. Ain't been jail. I'm not planning on going to jail. It's not cool, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, God forbid, God forbid. So, lastly, would you say is your highlight of this year? Because we're coming to an end now. It's coming to December. The year's gone. What's been the highlight this year?
The highlight for me would be, honestly, but I'm just happy, man. I've just been enjoying life, man. You know, when I've just got to that stage where I've realised, like, I've got a lot of things going for me.
A place of contentness.
Yeah, man, I'm content. I'm happy with my journey. I'm getting on with my music, you know what I'm trying to say. Obviously, coming up in the music industry as well, it's not the best place to be, you know what I'm saying? A lot of snaky behaviour, a lot of, like, it's hard, innit? You have to know how to judge a character.
Yeah.
Same time, you have your own brethren as well, because it weren't easy, bro. I was coming into the game, you can check, go back to my videos, you'll see, 1 minute I'm with 20 man, the next video I'll be with 10 man, then you'll see me with 5, then you'll see me with none. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like a lot of people think you're gone clear before you've even gone.
That's the thing. And
You get what I mean?
what I always say, this is what I always try to tell people, that there's that whole thing, oh, you have to feed the wolves, or you have to, but the wolves also have to bring something to the table.
Exactly, because it's, at the end of the
It
day,
can't be, I'm going to my show, okay, all the men them come with me, everyone gets it for free, then everyone wants some sort of payment. Show me what your value is. Show me why you should be coming.
I'll explain something to you now, but you're going to clock. This is why I cut off a lot of my brethren as well, yeah? And I wouldn't even say my brethren, because all my brethren, I'm distant. They're like, I can see a man from 8 years ago from high school or whatever, 5 years ago, whatever, and I swear to you, same energy, like, yo, like, what's going on, you good? Like, because they're men about it. You know, when you're a man about it, you know nobody owes you nothing. You've got to go and get it yourself.
That's the thing.
Cool. Then there's me taking off the table and taking off the table, but if I'm not never bringing nothing back to the table, what am I? I'm not your son. I should have gone and had kids. Do you get what I'm trying to say to you? It really comes down to the entity, the business. How many doors does it open? Cool. My friend should have came to me and said, yo, bro, I've got this hat. So let's sell 100 of these hats. So, yo, bro, I've got 200 t-shirts. So, cool. Let me rent a venue. What rappers can you get in a venue if I'm doing tickets? Like, they need to know what to eat off of that when you've brought to the table, because you can't just be feeding down. You're watering these plants, and then no one's not giving you nothing back. Nah, man, it don't make sense. Don't feed the wolves unless they're eating people for you, bro. Sweet, like that.
And we'll get end it on that. That, guys, is another Big Ego Media podcast, and there is Born Trappy.
No problem.